So, hello, and welcome to Mindy's Manga, and I want to thank you for choosing to watch this video. It is getting so close to Halloween. I am so mind-bogglingly excited, because as every manga fan knows, that this is either the chance that you get to test drive your new costume that you've either thrown together, or you get to wear the one that you totally rocked out in at your last con, whatever kind of thing you go to, or you have gone to, or whatever, or you plan to go to. And this manga that I'm going to be talking about today is Full Metal Alchemist. And the reason I chose to talk about this one is because I am being one of the characters, Alphonse. Alphonse is a giant suit of armor. A lot of people say he's a robot, which really ticks me off, but he's a giant suit of armor. His soul is locked in the armor. I'll explain to you in a second. But he is like, I looked it up on the internet, and he is like 7'3". Now, that is huge. I am 5'4". I am not that tall, so I decided I'd just be fun-sized. I'll say that. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is called Full Metal Alchemist. This is the book, the manga book. What it basically is two boys learn how to do something called alchemy. Alchemy is magic, but with science. So, one of these characters could probably make like a sweet-ass sword out of my camera, because it's made of like aluminum and stuff. So basically how alchemy is done is that it takes components out of either regular day objects or super cool weird objects that you just randomly find, and it takes random stuff out of it and makes it into something else. So like on the back of the book it says alchemy is the mystical power to alter the natural world. So you basically take something else, break it down, and create something else. So these two boys on the cover of this one, this is Ed and Al, this is Ed, and this is Al. What happened was, as young kids, they were really interested in alchemy, and they decided that they would just work on alchemy and everything, and it turns out that their mother gets very sick and she dies. So they get really, really sad, because as everybody knows, little kids and their moms are always really close. And she was a really good mom to them. Like, even in the box sets here, the box set of season 1, she was just a really good mom to them, and so they got really sad, and they tried to use alchemy to bring her back to life. And as I said earlier, you can only use alchemy to create things. You can't bring things back, especially the soul. You can create a body, but you can't bring back a soul. And even creating a body is very hard, because we're made of so many things. So they tried to do this, and there's a thing called the toll. Now, if you think this is a spoiler, you might want to stop here. And for all you that know what I'm talking about, then you don't need to stop. But they have to pay something called the toll. So every time they try and transmute a soul, they have to pay with their own. So Al lost his entire body because they didn't have enough of a soul to pay the toll. And Ed lost his, I don't know if it's the left or right leg. I mean, you might want to, if you've seen this or love this or hate this and you know what I'm talking about, just put a comment down below, because I don't know if it's either his left leg or his right leg that he's lost. I know he lost his right arm, but I don't know if it's the left or right leg that he lost. But anyway, so he lost one of his legs to try and bring his mother back. And to keep Al's soul on Earth, because without a body, you can't have a soul. And to keep Al's body on their planet, I don't know if it's Earth, but to keep it on their planet and with Ed, he gave up his right arm to the toll to keep his brother Al on his planet and with him, and he locked it into a suit of armor, that was across the room or wherever. But he locked it into the suit of armor. So now Al is this giant, walking, talking, fighting, kicking ass suit of armor. 7'3" suit of armor to be precise. So what happens is that they give up on trying to bring their mom back because they think it's a lost cause. They can't bring her back. They just kind of accept that she's dead. So what they say is that, hey, we're still here, right? We're still here. We might as well try and get our bodies back to normal. So what they do is they do some research and everything, and they try and bring their own bodies. I don't want to say bring, because it's not bring. They're trying to get their bodies back to normal. So Edward here is trying to create an arm and a leg for himself, which cannot be done without something that I'll explain in a second. And Al cannot get his body back from the toll. Yes, you can get it back from the toll because his soul is not with the toll. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to create something called the Philosopher's Stone. No, it's not like Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a different thing. So just huck that idea out of your mind. The Philosopher's Stone is something where you can transmute things, which is create things or bring things back without having to pay the toll. You don't have to pay any consequences for it whatsoever. So they're trying to create a Philosopher's Stone, and they hit a couple roadblocks. I have read the whole series. No, I'm not going to tell you how it ends. If you are interested in reading this, I would suggest going to a website called One Manga. I don't know if they have the whole collection because I borrowed this series from one of my friends, and she wants the first half back because I bought the second half because I love it so much. And if you're sitting in your seat and you're like, yes, 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 then I totally agree with you. And if you're sitting in your seat and you're like, I hate that one, why should we talk about that? Then I'm sorry, but I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This was one of the first mangas I've ever read ever, and I absolutely fell in love with it. The first manga I ever read was Inuyasha. I was about 11, I think, and I read it, and I thought it was okay, but I wasn't hooked. Until now. I even bought the pocket watch, you will see, off of the internet because I love it that much. Also, speaking of pocket watches, Ed and Al, just Ed joins the military as a alchemist. That's just what they call people that can do alchemy, and transmuting is where they can make things, like out of the ground, soil and stuff. So basically what happens is Ed decides that he wants to become an alchemist so he can use all of the resources the military has to try and make a Philosopher's Stone. The military has tons of information on classified subjects such as the Philosopher's Stone. From where they are coming from, it's very hard to get information on the Philosopher's Stone because it's a very touchy subject over there, because some religions think that it's just a terrible thing because you're desecrating something that God has given you. So they don't agree with it. And if you've read the series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What else was I going to say? I had a couple other things to tell you. So he joins the military to find information on the Philosopher's Stone. They have a great journey. Love it. I haven't seen the second season. I'm planning to get it from the internet, but they're kind of expensive because it's kind of a rare season. What else? Oh yeah. Okay. So the manga was also made into an anime, and the anime was also made into video games. Come on. Oh man, I just couldn't believe that. I read the books first, and then my friend lent me this series, which I haven't given back to her yet, and I bought the video game. I don't know if there's more than one. I think there is. It says Full Metal Alchemist 2,